What's up everybody, it's Sean here, back today to give you guys my overdue review of the Patta collaboration with New Balance on the 991. These 991s marks the second collaboration between Amsterdam-based boutique Patta with New Balance. Releasing on January 22nd, these retailed for a price of 220 euros, which is the equivalent of roughly 270 USD or 340 Canadian. The official colorway for this shoe is Dusty Pink and Light Petrol, and the style code is M991PAT. So how I got these was a very interesting story. So when these dropped on the 22nd, I took an L on the website, and I assumed that was it, so a few days later I put in a bid on StockX. Little did I know that Concepts was releasing this pair a few days later, and I have a good friend that lives in the Boston area, so he entered the raffle for me and actually ended up winning a pair, but it turns out a few hours before he told me he won, I actually got my bid accepted on StockX. So long story short, I ended up paying resale unnecessarily, but I guess it never hurts getting a double up for retail. So the New Balance 991 originally released in 2001, so this year marks the 20th anniversary of the silhouette. Following their highly successful collaboration on the 920, this Patta collab was a very limited release. And while it's not necessarily the most unique and the most loud collaboration ever, it's one that definitely grew on me the more and more I saw them. So taking a deep dive into the shoe, starting things off with the toe box, here we have this pale green or turquoise colored mesh. In the middle we have this hit of reflective 3M, and overlaid on top we have these two hits of tan colored leather. Surrounding the outer edge of the toe box we have this dusty pink colored suede, which feels very buttery in hand and very high quality. This pink suede covers the side panels of the shoe, and then stitched on top of this we have the New Balance end logo, which is done in this reflective 3M material. Moving further down, so the top two eyelets are done in gray, we have another overlay of this tan colored leather, and then underneath this we have more of that turquoise gray colored mesh. We see more of the suede covering the back end of the shoe, and then embroidered on the lateral side, we have Patta branding stitched on in white. On the center of the back heel, we have another hit of the tan colored leather at the top, and there's this oval cutout in the middle, which reveals this reflective 3M material with 991 embroidered in white. For the laces, they give us three different lace options. So there's this tan colored lace, which is my favorite, there's a grayish green or a grayish turquoise pair, and there's also a washed out pink pair as well. Underneath this, we have the tongue. So the bottom half of the tongue is constructed out of this mesh material, and then the top is covered in this reflective 3M, and then we have New Balance 991 along with the Patta logo embroidered in white. Taking out the insoles, these come with a grayish green or grayish turquoise lined insole. It's pretty well padded, and we have the Patta logo stamped on the heel in white. Surrounding the back heel, we have this tan colored TPU heel clip, which gives you added structure and support for the back end of the sneaker. So the upper of the New Balance 991 sits atop this very chunky midsole, which is painted in this slightly darker color in the back heel and white on the forefoot. We have these absorb bubbles underneath the forefoot and a larger one underneath the back heel, which is one of New Balance's proprietary foam technologies. On the bottom, the outsole is constructed entirely out of this black colored rubber. You'll see the New Balance end logo forms the traction pattern on the forefoot, and we have New Balance branding on the back heel. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Patta New Balance 991s. For those wondering how these fit, so I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I opt to go a half size down for the New Balance 991. So for New Balances, I usually wear between a 9.5 and a 10. I got these in a 9.5 and they give me a really nice snug fit. If you're someone that likes a little bit more room for your shoes, you can definitely stick true to size as well. I just prefer more of the lockdown fitted feel going a half size down provides. For comparison's sake, I'm also a 9.5 in most of my New Balance 998s, as well as my 992s, 993s, and 990 V5s. In comparison, I stick with my true size 10, for models like the 997, the 990 V2, the 1500, and the 1530. Next up, talking about the comfort. So overall, I feel like the 991 is a pretty comfortable shoe. This very thick absorb midsole has a decent amount of plushness to it, but it's still very well supported, so it's not going to feel mushy on feet, and it strikes that good balance between the two. So all in all, this is definitely a shoe I feel like I can wear for many hours in a day without feeling any discomfort. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship on this pair, this is a made in England or made in UK pair, and as expected, the material quality was very nice. The suede, like I said earlier, was very plush and buttery, and while the overall construction of the shoe wasn't perfect, there were some small blemishes. They were really minor, and at the end of the day, it's nothing really I can complain about. With all that being said, now let's lace up these Patta New Balance 991s, and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. Between this one and their first 920 collaboration, I think this Patta collab takes the cake. I feel like the 920 is a little bit too dark and it's a little bit too brown, whereas this one has a bit of a better contrast with the pink with this turquoise or green finish. It's all personal preference though. I think both collabs are very nice, and because I don't own that pair, I'm very glad I can add this one now to my collection. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Patta New Balance 991. Were you guys able to grab a pair of these, or did you take an L? And what do you guys think of the overall execution on this collab? Do you think it was a little bit lazy, or are you guys feeling the look of this shoe? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at sgo8. Check out my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys all in my next review.